Hello, and welcome to Pixels and Points. We're back this week. I'm Susie Brown, media buyer here at Redroc, and with me, as always, is
Matt Nelsen. I am the digital media director here at Redroc. And today we're going to be talking about some AI stuff, including AI, pushes into doing browsers and, of course, the future of AI search. So,
yep.
get us started off. First article is about the next browser wars. Um, some of them are putting out their browsers, and as we all know, of course, Google dominates, and it's they dominate right now. But what people don't know is that Facebook is actually a very huge browser in the browsers area, and
hmm
I think they're the number two browser. And because if you're on Facebook or Meta or anything like that on your phone, and you click on any link, it doesn't open up Chrome. It opens up its own Facebook browser, and you don't even know about it. So they are number
Right.
two right now. But a couple AI platforms, Perplexity and OpenAI, are developing and about to launch their own browsers coming out. Or they did. Perplexity launched their one called Comet, which I haven't played with yet. But it was to subscribers for $200 a month plan, and I'm like, that's a little bit much.
I thought it was very interesting that it's a cost-based model. If they're trying to compete with Google and then putting a price tag on it.
Well, I think that they're trying to make it a little bit more like a personal assistant rather than just an operating, a platform.
hmm
But
It's
I know
exclusive.
OpenAI is trying to develop their own web platform that can help you with anything you're looking at, you're looking to do. Just basically, all of these are trying to be your own personal assistant, so that they can, data mine everything you're looking for, everything you're interested in. I mean, people think it's bad now, where they think when you're talking about something, you know, Alexa picks up on it, and then you start to see ads, and I'm like, no, it's been proven that they're not yet. They're not yet. Um, they're only The only thing is once you've talked about it, you're more apt to realize when you see an ad, because you've probably seen those
hmm
ads before. And so what happens is you'll be more apt to recognize that you're seeing the ad. It'll have more of an impact because it's more of a top of mind kind of a thing. But you'd probably seen those ads before. There's plenty of ads that I don't even notice, and then when I think about it, like, oh, I just got an ad for, I don't know, Windows, or for going and doing like a theme park or something like that. But I've been
Right,
getting,
right. Whatever you were planning earlier that day.
yeah, I just hadn't. It was just top of mind when it comes to that. Now, these browsers are, what that does to like the EU antitrust thing for these browsers. I don't know. They're going to come in and they're going to try to compete. I don't really know how this is all going to shake out. I think it has more to do with the major tool that these browsers are going to implement and how it's going to be integrated, which is
Exactly, which is what our
search.
next article talks about.
Yes.
And we'll flip over to that.
Yes.
The zero click search. But yeah, I think the gist of it is that, the usual Google search, it's going to give you your list. You go do the work, right? Then you're doing the research. And now it's more conversational, right?
And people got clicks, and it was more about like, what's the user experience on your side. Once you get the people on, how do you drive them down into the sales? And it's all about the last click attribution and getting people to click, and bottom of the funnel. And so many people over the past 10 years have been pushing for bottom of the funnel, and the reason for that is not because it's the best way to go about it. It's the best way to show attribution, and it's the best way to like prove to your CFO that the marketing
Right.
dollars aren't going anywhere. You're like, oh, look, we're all of our search, it's spent, every dollar we're spending on search, we're getting, $10 back. And I'm like, so they wanted to funnel more money into search. They just
And
thought it
that
was,
is one of the great things about digital is being able to account every dollar and showing where it goes versus
yeah.
traditional.
And unfortunately for finance, for dealing with CFOs,
Mhm.
is that they're thinking more of like on a finance kind of a mind, where
Right.
you know
ROI.
just think of it like you're investing money in a company, or you're in the stock market. If one of your stocks is producing, 20% gains, you want to put more money in that stock. Or like if it doesn't,
Exactly.
if it looks like, until you start getting diminishing returns. And I'm like, that completely makes sense. But when it comes to marketing, it doesn't work like that. You can't just keep on putting more and more money into search and expecting it to give you the same gains when you taking that money away from any kind of branding, any kind of middle funnel educational kind of
Yes.
advertising. So
Yeah. It's all working together.
yeah, it's why there's media campaigns and advertising campaigns where it's a full holistic picture of, we're doing all of this over here at the top of the funnel, and it will drive people into like, oh, well, I wonder, maybe I need more, like, let's say with Windows, maybe I need Windows, I don't know, like my Windows are kind of old, I don't
It's
know.
time. It's been 10 years.
Go
Yep.
into education, and
Hmm.
around, this is when they might ask, some of the AIs about, do I need to replace my Windows? What do I need to look at? That kind of thing. And then when they're actually look like, what is the cost? That's closer to the bottom of the funnel. And then that's when you're sending out, that's when you're trying to get people with search and things like that.
Right. Then you've got your offers to come into play and all that great stuff. So yeah, it's all working together. And I think it is going to change kind of the overall, when the traditional paid search, right, is all keywords, right? And now we're moving away from that keyword list, and it's going to be
Yeah.
a
It's
little more conversational, a little more right phrases and blogs, branded content, that kind of thing.
the zero click search, though, is what's going to be killing any kind of search campaigns that you're running for that consideration phase, that education phase that's in the middle, like not the lowest one where people are just like who can do my windows, like that's when they're
Right,
going to be
right.
just going and
They're
buying.
close and they're cheap.
They're
Boom.
not doing education anymore. But the education one is where you'll see your clicks drop off. It's where people are trying to educate themselves on things, and that's where the AIs are going to step in, and they're going to be bringing all this content. Now, how do small brands? I'm not talking about Coke. I'm talking about small brands, which
Hmm.
is like a window manufacturer, because they're franchised to local areas.
Right.
How do these small brands deal with that? Because that's how they get people to come in and they first experience their brand, and then they come back later when they're looking to actually purchase. So it's how all this is going to shake out, or at least my educated guess is that the brands are going to have to do a lot more heavy lifting on the SEO side rather than relying on just SEM. And what I mean by that is SEM is mostly your actual pay per click and driving people, and your search strategy, and paying for clicks through to the site. That's your search
Yep.
engine management. But the search engine optimization is going to have to be a lot more. It's going to be have to be a lot heavier on that, and that's going to include making sure you have lots of details about your business, what you do, your expertise on your site, as well as reviews. And reviews is a huge one. um,
Hmm.
Reviews, Yelp reviews, make sure those are all good and that those are keep coming in and they're all high reviews, as well as if there's any articles you can have written that are good about you, you have them linked, things like that. That this is what the AI is going to be looking at. The AI is
It's
not
looking for that, yeah, that content
AI is not
versus
just going to do the
picking out a
search.
keyword.
They're not just going to do a search for the top results for whatever that person was searching for, and then just look at those like top 10 things. They're going into the deep links, the deep, they're going on to the B side. It's
Yep.
they're going to be pulling it from everywhere. So this is why keeping all of your information about your business and what you do and how great you are, like, concurrent across, Google, Bing, Apple, Facebook,
Yep. All your socials. Hmm.
Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and all of the social medias, all of the listing agents, all the way, yellow pages. You may not realize it, but people still use some of that kind of stuff. It comes up.
Right. And it's out
Word
there. So
store.
when AI is doing its crawl, it's finding everything.
Yeah, and especially on the social medias, you have as much information as you can put in there as possible, because there's a lot of people, including content. Make sure you get your social media content up there and that you're consistent and constant. And constant can is relative to the type of business you have. Um,
Yep.
that's why here at Redroc we have a dedicated media team. We have dedicated content, delivery schedules for not only your website with blogs and things, but social media postings and all that, because that's what AI is going to be looking at,
Hmm.
as well as our ad campaigns. They see our ad campaigns as well. They'll see what ads and what stuff's been posted on Facebook, on X, on TikTok, on Snapchat. It'll see all the old content, and so it will be able to form a good idea of who you are. Now,
Yep. But it is all based on your content and what you're putting out there. Yep.
it is. Now, with all of that being said, how does advertising come into this?
Hmm.
How do we pay for it? And
Yep.
the
This
way,
I think is going to be a big change,
yeah,
but
it's gonna be a change. We're not gonna be able to. I feel, because none of these have really come out with a good ad platform yet. For there's zero click, the the Google's little ad section at the top where it comes down and it has like the links where it talks about people, but people aren't getting the clicks from that. That they
mhm.
it's going to be more of, you're going to have to pay, and you're not going to have an ad. Honestly, I mean, you might be able to say like what you'd want them to say, but it's not going to be an ad as the way it is now for like Google search. It's going to be, you're gonna fill out all your, you might go in and tell the what your campaign is about. Like, we're gonna have
Like
birthdays.
talking points or headline information, maybe. Yeah. But you're going to be limited to characters for sure. Yeah.
Talking points, yes, just like you would,
Mhm.
like radio read bullet points of like, these are what the top things that we're talking about right now for our business. So say you're a family entertainment center, like you have birthday specials or you have this, you can put all that information into the search campaign and
Mhm.
say, I want to pay per impression. It's going to be a CPM, because people just don't click. You want people
Yeah,
just,
you won't be able to pay by click, which I think is so interesting when talking about search. It's,
I'm thinking a search branding campaign where you're going to
yeah,
pay.
like a search brand. It'll be by mention.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it might have a click through link there, but I don't think it's gonna. I think people are gonna have a hard time not wanting to pay for clicks, and they may have
Well,
to.
and the click through link is not necessarily, I think, where you want it to go. So if it pulls it from a blog or a Facebook, but you want to drive them right to your ticket page or your hours or something like
Yeah,
that, it's really hard to
there
maneuver.
you may have to pay by CPM or by cost per acquisition or something like that. But it's going to be where you're paying to make sure to try to have, if somebody's looking up birthday party places in Austin, that you
Hmm.
show up in its mention. When
Yep.
it's talking about like local places that are great are, and then it goes this place, this place, this place, and like those are people that are paid for, and depending on how much you paid or how relevant you are,
Hmm.
that search result, like it's the ad score, is how you'll be brought up and how much it'll talk about you, and it'll have links to your places all in there. But it may be, or you might be in the AI result as a promoted section. It's just,
Well, right. That's what I was just thinking. Is there going to be a distinction between like
I
paid
don't like
and
that.
organic when it comes for these results, right?
I
Will
don't
the
think.
consumer know, hey, I put in my talking points. I was trying to reach you
Yeah.
about this subject?
Yeah, I don't like that it's gonna, if it puts in like, if it stops the conversation it's trying to have with the end user and it says like
Hmm.
promoted post, this post
Exactly.
is for birthday parties. People aren't gonna like that. People are just
No,
gonna
you're going to skip right over it and go to the next. Yep.
it's terrible, and it's not gonna be what you want. I mean, I see that all the time with when I'm looking up news stories, like it'll try to slip in the ad and I'm just like, oh, that's interesting, oh wait, that's an ad, skip. It's just,
And we are savvy, but I think the average consumer it has the same experience.
I do too.
Yeah.
They're not dumb. They're gonna see it. So I think it has to be integrated in the response, or else it's the value goes down.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I feel like that's where
Absolutely.
it's gonna have to be. You're gonna have to pay for, promote my business. Whenever somebody says this, speaks this key phrase or is searching for this keyword or things like that, please promote my business within the response, where it makes sense, and you just won't have control over how it talks about you. So you'll have to
Hmm.
try to get in there and I don't know if you're gonna have any kind of recourse to try to see, how did I come up in this kind of an answer or that kind of an answer. But
Yeah, your controls in your brand and your reputation management, I
yeah,
think, becomes all more important when it comes to
I feel
search
like
now.
that's where it should go. But I'm really afraid that at the beginning we're just gonna get
Wild West.
well, it's gonna have the response where it's like da 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 your response, and then it's gonna take a break and then say sponsored result da 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 da, break, more of the response, and it's going to
Mhm.
be like that. It's going to be ugly, and it's going to be ham fisted, and I'm not going to like it. But
We'll
but
definitely be watching and playing around as all of it rolls out.
yes, and seeing where our clients can fit in effectively, and we'll see what the end result is. But this is the Wild West. It's all changing every month as the new stuff will come out. They're all going to be trying different models, and they're all going to see which one comes out. So I mean, this could be the end days for Google search the way we see it. If some one of the other ones comes out with a better model, if Grok comes out with a better model, or OpenAI is just better, people will
Hmm.
all flood to that other better model, and it's competition. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
good.
always good to see Google get a little competition.
It's needed it, which may make
Mhm.
that whole the European Union's lawsuit against them from having a monopoly on search. I'm like, I have a feeling that's going to go away pretty soon unless Google keeps its
Yep.
monopoly. So we're keeping our ear to the ground on this, trying to make sure our clients are prepared. So
Yep. Ready for all the new opportunities.
sounds good.
All right. Awesome. Well, we'll be back, if not next week, in a couple weeks with some new topics to discuss
Mm-hmm.
and see y'all next time.
Summer vacations taking their toll.
They are.
Yep. All right.
Bye.
Bye.